Good evening, everyone. Welcome to all of you CLAT Ke Funde. So, waiting for the students to join the class. Just for your kind information that on 25th of July, we started our initiative from the part of CLAT Gurukul. And for the online classes, it is absolutely free. And I'm just waiting for the students to join as early as possible so that I can start that session of today. Today, I'm going to discuss three different kind of things. First one is spotting error, and second one is idioms and phrases, and next one is gap filler. Okay, so as I have been discussing lots of topics for the last few classes over there, and today let us start with spotting error segment. As you know that spotting error plays a very important role in the competitive examination, so you should practice as much as possible. Number of questions will be solved by you so that you can have a strong grip over the spotting error segment. Let us start today's session. The first sentence in a segmented form, you can see that we discussed about the problem so thoroughly on the eve of the examination that I found it very easy to work it out and no error. Four different kind of segments are there, and you have to find it out in which part the error lies, right? So accordingly, you should proceed. Just like that, we discussed about the problem so thoroughly on the eve of the examination that I found it very easy to work it out. Okay, in which part the error lies? You think it out. As you know that we discussed, if you think about the first part, it is written that we discussed about the problem so thoroughly, right? So after discuss, the word is about. Here about word application is wrong, because if we are saying that discussing, so discuss, definitely if somebody is discussing, it should be about something. So if about is implied over there, whenever you are writing discuss or you are saying the word discuss, after that about word will be removed. It is not necessary, it is redundancy. Okay, so in this particular segment, A part is wrong as it contains about after discussed, which is absolutely wrong. With discussed, the word about cannot be there, right? So in A part, the error lies. Now, next question. An Indian ship laden with merchandise got drowned in the Pacific Ocean. This is the question. Okay. So, in which part the error lies? You think it out. An Indian ship laden with merchandise got drowned in the Pacific Ocean. In this particular question, an Indian ship laden with merchandise got drowned. Look, the thing is that in case of inanimate object, if something is submerged underwater, we cannot use the word like sink, S-I-N-K. Okay, it is all about the ship, so definitely we should use the word sink, because in case of inanimate object we should use the word sink, and in past tense it should be sank. But here in part C it is written that drowned. A person can drown, means a living being can drown, non-living thing cannot drown. So that's why in C part contains the error, and that is drowned will be replaced by sank, S-A-N-K. Do remember one thing, that in case of human being, it should be drown, but in case of inanimate object it should be sank. But sink word can also be used in case of inanimate object too, right? So we can say that the ship sank, and also we can say that the person, the deceased person, the person having ailment, he is sinking. It means that his condition is deteriorating. Pramanshu, good evening. So this is all about the spotting error concept, that if you find the word like sink or drown, you should take into consideration whether it is talking about any human being or any inanimate object. If it is all about inanimate object, we should use, in case of inanimate object, we should use what? We should use sink. But in case of living being, most of the time we use drown. Okay, so here part C contains the error. Now next question. If I had known this yesterday, I will have helped him. Now this is the thing. In 4 segments, the sentence has been divided in 4 different segments. If I had known this yesterday, I will have helped him. Okay, so here in first part it is written in past tense, I had. But in part C, if you think about it, it is I will. So here also we need to maintain the past tense. I would have helped him. It should be I would have. In place of will, it should be would. Okay, so part C contains the error. Okay, now next question. The students were awaiting for the arrival of the chief guest. Okay, the students were awaiting for the arrival of the chief guest. Now, what is all about that? Awaiting for. If you are using the word awaiting, it should not be followed by any preposition. So awaiting, rather you should use waiting for. You cannot use awaiting for. That's why in part B, it is error. And part B contains the error, and the error is that for will be removed, because awaiting for will not be there. It should be waiting for or awaiting. So in this case, for will be removed. Fine. Moving to question number 4. Next question. According to the Bible, it is meek and humble who shall inherit the earth. Now here, in this particular question, according to the Bible, it is meek and humble who shall inherit the earth. So if we are talking about the Bible, it is meek and humble. In part B, entirely it indicates the group of people, and when we indicate the group of people, we should use the article the before meek and humble, because we are indicating the entire group of people who are in that group. Those people are meek and humble. That's why it should be, it is the meek and humble. Okay, the will be there. So B part contains the error. Now let us talk about idioms and phrases. Okay, idioms and phrases. So different questions have been given over there, and you have to find out what is the actual meaning of the phrase or idiom that has been given over here. First one, to hit the jackpot. Now, if it is all about to hit the jackpot, then you have to tell me that what is the meaning of that, to hit the jackpot. In our daily life, also we are supposed to use these idioms. It's a very common, and meanings are given over there. You have to select what is the actual meaning. To hit the jackpot. First one is to gamble. Second, to get an unexpected victory. Third one, to be wealthy. Fourth one, to make money unexpectedly. To hit the jackpot means actually to make money unexpectedly. It is beyond your expectation. You never expected that to happen to you, but eventually you hit the jackpot. It means that you made money unexpectedly. So it's a very common phrase. You should remember that. In our daily life, we also use that, right? Now moving to next question. To pay off old scores. Now what does it mean? And it is a very important idiom from the perspective of the examination, because in many of the competitive examination I have found this question. You may find this question, to pay off old scores. And what does it mean? 4 options are given over here. To have one's revenge, to settle a dispute, to repay the old loan, and none of these. 4 options are given. Then what should be the answer? To pay off old scores means to have one's revenge. To have one's revenge. Yes. It's question number 2. It means to have one's revenge. That is to pay off old scores. Somebody has taken some action against you and you were taking the revenge. Okay, that is meant by to pay off old scores. Moving to next question. To beat the air. To beat the air. What does it mean? To beat the air. First option, to make frantic efforts, to act for. Second one, to act foolishly. Third one, to make efforts that are useless or vain. And fourth one, to make every possible effort. Okay, so the first one, to make frantic efforts or to act foolishly, to make efforts that are useless or vain. If you think about the idiom to beat the air, it means that you are doing some action, but the repercussion or the reaction or the outcome will be the negative one. It will be fruitless. It will be fruitless. Okay, so without reaping any benefit over here. So it means that to beat the air means to make efforts that are useless or vain. You are doing effort honestly, but actually it is fruitless. No positive outcome will be there. That is meant by to beat the air. Right? Next question. To be a good Samaritan. To be a good Samaritan, what does it mean? To be law-abiding, a wise person, a religious person, a genuinely charitable person. 4 options are given over here. You have to select the correct one. Now, which one? To be a good Samaritan. Before doing that, I would like to share with you guys that one thing that is that will help you to remember what is the meaning of good Samaritan. In the parable of the Bible, it was written there was a traveler. A story was given that there was a traveler who was beaten badly by somebody else, and he was the traveler was actually beaten, stripped, and laid half dead along the road. And the Levite and priest came over here and they totally ignored that particular traveler. And suddenly there was a Samaritan who was a person who came nearby. He saw the person who is half dead just lying on the road, and he helped him a lot. So from then actually this has become an idiom, and the idiom is to be a good Samaritan. It means that a genuinely charitable person, without having any kind of interest or without being selfish, that person became immediately ready to help other one. So to be a good Samaritan means a genuinely charitable person, right? Okay, moving to the next question. To take a leaf out of somebody's book. To take a leaf out of somebody's book. To take him as a model. First one, to steal something valuable. C, to follow the dictates of someone. And last one, to conform to others' standard. Now, what is the meaning of to take a leaf out of somebody's book? What is the meaning of that? To follow the dictates of someone. To take a leaf out of somebody's book means somebody is doing very good and you were just following him. Okay, so according to the option, if in the option C, you find that to follow the dictates of someone, somebody is dictating and you are following, it means that you have total interest in following that particular person, and it is meant by to take a leaf out of somebody's book, and from which you have taken a leaf. It means that you are following blindly that particular person. So option C will be the correct answer. Right. Moving to the next question, question number 6. To set the Thames on fire. It's a very common and popular idioms and phrase, and you should know that. To set the Thames on fire. First option, to do something remarkable, to try to do impossible, to burn something to ashes, to fling ironical remarks. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean? 6. Primangshu, you have given the answer 6A. To do something remarkable. Very good. To do something remarkable. To set the Thames on fire, it means that you have set a very good example for others to be followed. It means that you have done exceptionally well. A remarkable thing, outstanding or impressive performance. So to do something remarkable, that is meant by to set the Thames on fire. Fine. So these kind of idioms you should be ready and you should practice as much as possible, considering the law entrance examination, because there are certain examinations in which idioms and phrases, the questions from idioms and phrases appear, and you should tackle all those questions. You cannot leave those questions out, right? Let us move to our next segment. It is all about gap filler. Now, gap filler, it can be one gap, it can be two gaps, depending on the nature of the questions, right? and here we are going to discuss the gap filler of different pattern. Look, before starting the gap filler questions, I'd like to share you that the thing is that in the gap filler, all the time you should not attack the first blank, right? So sometimes it happens that from the second blank, if you move forward, you can easily understand that what should be in the right slot or what should be in that proper blank. Now, if the question is just like this one, the formerly dash waters of the lake have been polluted so that the fish are no longer visible from the surface. Now, what does the sentence actually want to convey? The formerly dash waters of the lake have been polluted so that the fish are no longer visible from the surface. So, what should be the correct answer? Muddy, it doesn't fit in the blank. Tranquil, it is not applicable over there. Stagnant means just confined, not at all. Pellucid, it is the word. The formerly pellucid waters translucently clear. Pellucid means translucently clear. So it should be placed in the blank. The formerly pellucid waters of the lake have been polluted so that the fish are no longer visible from the surface. It should be pellucid, right? And if you think about the word rancid, it means that something very stinking, very rotten kind of thing. Okay, it is stinking, it is not smelling good, and those kind of things, rotten kind of thing, that is rancid. Fine. So correct answer will be pellucid, and it means translucently clear, right? Okay. Now, next question. After the accident, the nerves to her arm were damaged, and so the muscles dash through disuse. Now, in this particular blank, which word you are going to pick? After the accident, the nerves to her arm were damaged, and so the muscles dash through disuse. First option is atrophied, second option is contracted, next elongated, invigorated, and dwindled. If you know the meaning of the words, it will be easier for you to fill in the blank. Which word is going to be put in that particular blank? Atrophied means something becomes ineffective due to disuse. You were not using a certain kind of thing, or you were not using your limbs, and suddenly it got ineffective, because due to not using that, it becomes ineffective, and that is meant by atrophy. Contracted, that is shrinking, right? And here we are talking about straight cut. The word is used at muscles through disuse. The highlighting word is disuse. You are not using that. That's why it has become damaged. Therefore, the correct answer will be atrophied. Okay? Due to the existence of the word disuse, it has become ineffective, and that is what is meant by atrophied. So, correct answer will be atrophied. Next one, contracted, that is shrunk, or elongated, that is expanded, and invigorated, rejuvenated, and dwindled, that is reduced. So the rest of the options will not fit in that particular slot. Atrophied is the correct word, and atrophied means due to disuse, something got ineffective, and that is the correct answer over here. Now next one. His characteristically dash views on examination methods university level have aroused dash in those who want to introduce innovative and flexible patterns of assessment. You go through this particular question and try to find out that what is the correct answer. Here, I think the words have become difficult for you. You are getting confused that which one is to be picked and which one is to be left. Actually, let me tell you, hidebound means inflexible. Okay, inflexible means a person who is not ready to accept any kind of changes. Very much dogmatic, very much rigid. This kind of thing, hidebound. And antagonism, just opposite. Moderate, you know that anger, it's very common word. Reactionary and admiration, you know that rigid, support and accommodation, accommodating and annoyance. All the rest of the words are known to you. Fine. So his characteristically dash views. What kind of views? Hidebound views on examination methods at university level have aroused antagonism in those who want to introduce innovative and flexible patterns of assessment. Now, if you go through the sentence, you find that in the second part of the sentence, it is the positive impact. There is a group of people who want to introduce innovative and flexible patterns of assessment, but he is the only one who is opposing that. It means that his view is actually rigid by nature. He is rigid, he is dogmatic character, and his views are hidebound. That's why he is not fitting with those people who want to introduce innovative and flexible patterns of assessment. Now, your straight cut strategy will be considering the second part of the sentence as it is saying about the positive one. The first part, it should be opposite one. So hidebound, just being having the hidebound views, he aroused antagonism in those. If you are rigid by nature, if you are sticking to your views, if you are not in a position to accept anybody's changes, then definitely the people will start disliking you. Okay, and it will create antagonism. That's why the first blank will be filled by hidebound and second one is antagonism. Okay, right. Let us move to next question. Tennyson, he is a great poet. Tennyson was a well-loved poet. No other poet since has been so, then blank. First one is lionized, next one attacked, third one decried, fourth one poetical, and fifth one abhorred. Now, what should be the actual word? Tennyson was a well-loved poet. No other poet since has been so, then blank. Tennyson was a world-class poet, right? You have given the answer C. No, decry means ninda karna, to say something ill about somebody else. Tennyson was a well-loved poet. If somebody was a well-loved poet, no other poet since has been so, उनके जैसा कोई इतना appreciated नहीं हुआ था. Actually, the thing is that nobody was appreciated like him. Now, lionized word, that is a very important word. It means highly admired, extremely praised. So Tennyson was a well-loved poet. No other poet since has been so lionized. It means that so much appreciated. Okay. Now, decried is just reflecting the opposite ideas. Decry means to speak ill of somebody else, which is not fitting in this particular slot, because we are talking about the good qualities of Tennyson. If we think about the good qualities, how can we use the word of negative quality? Right? So you cannot just use the negative one, and decry is a negative word. So the correct answer will be lionized. Fine. Next question. Think it out. So in this particular sentence, in a fit of dash, she threw out the valuable statue simply because it had belonged to her ex-husband. Okay, now you think. It should be in a fit of. This blank requires a negative word. A negative word. In a fit of dash, she threw out. As she threw out something, valuable statue, definitely she got angry. It is quite explicit from this particular sentence, in a fit of. Now, any other word you have to find out from this group which means angry or irritation. Right, and that particular word is pick. Pick means irritation or annoyance. So in a fit of pique, she threw out the valuable statue simply because it had belonged to her ex-husband. Okay, here pique means annoyance or irritation, and that is to be placed in this particular slot or blank. Goodwill, you know that. Contrition, that is paschatap, repentance, right? Pedantry, once again having rigidity, and prudence, wise or discretion. So rest of the words are meaning unknown to you, but the thing is that you have to select the word that is pick, and that is to be put in this particular blank. Right, so we have practiced idioms and phrases, we have practiced spotting error, and finally we have concluded the session like gap filler. Different kind of exercises are available in this CLAT Ke Funde, and I welcome number of students to be a part of this, to avail themselves of this kind of courses what we are providing to you as absolutely free. What else we can do? We can give you the utmost benefit from our free classes. Now it's your responsibility to join the class and just avail yourself the benefit of our classes. Okay, so just practice and practice, because practice session is only the important factor for all of you guys, and I really appreciate your presence in our batch. I just want to interact with all of you guys through our classes, through our sessions, and if you like our video classes, definitely you should spread the message among your peers, among your friends, that CLAT Ke Funde has been running these classes and with honest intention, and we all the team member from our group, we welcome all of you to our CLAT Ke Funde classes. That's all from my side today. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.